Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be seeing what's coming in for you for March 2026. These readings are for my subscribers and my followers. I connect better to your energy that way. At the end, I will be pulling from my name deck. If you would like your name added, you can do so by becoming a Patreon member. Today we will be using my Romance Angels, my Wisdom of the Night Tarot deck, and my Owl Tarot deck. Sorry, this is an Oracle deck. My bad. But we will be starting off with money messages and then moving into love. If you'd like a personal reading, check out my description box below. There you'll find access to all my socials. Now let's dive in and see what messages Spirit has for you today. I apologize for how late this reading is getting out. I have been battling allergies the past week and a half, so my throat, I almost lost my voice a couple times, so yeah, I can't really do a reading if I can't talk. So but yeah, also down below, make sure you go ahead and comment below what you would like to see for next month. Energy in regards to love. This could be past relationship, present, future, new love, old love, ex, present love, yeah, what's to come. I would like to hear what you guys have to say. Okay, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what's coming in for you for money. It's always Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I apologize in advance for me coughing. Focus on a vision. Okay, so you have something that's in your mind and you're focusing in on it. You have goals to complete. Remember, these are timeless readings, so whenever you find this message is when you're supposed to find it. We have to see. This could be actually something that you've been focusing in for a while and it feels like it deceived you. Fragment. Okay. They're saying that something was too good to be true. They're saying that you were headed in a certain direction and you thought everything was going to work out good, but you found out something recently it was too good to be true. We have earth energy. You're trying to ground yourself right now. Lust. Interesting. So when lust pops up in a money message, I normally take it for something that you're craving, something that you may not actually be so grounded in making a decision. That's most likely why earth popped out. This is asking you to be grounded about your decision making, because I kind of feel like you jumped to impulsive, it was an impulsive decision, because you're like, ooh, that sounds great, I'm going to go for it, and you didn't think ahead. You didn't think of they're saying that you could have been scammed out of money. There could have been a scammer or somebody who contacted you and you thought that it was actually real and it turned out that it was fraud or something. Interesting. Okay. It's important to make grounded decisions. Oath. It's this was a lesson that you had to learn, and it's okay, I learned this lesson, gotta move on from it, don't dwell on the past, gotta keep moving forward. The moon, playful. Yeah, I feel the moon, whatever energies was going on with the moon, I do feel you were in an impulsive energy, playful, not really thinking, just feeling that good energy, and you jumped for it. You didn't hold back, and you're rethinking everything. You're oh man, I should have waited. I should have looked more into it, done more research on this situation. But yeah, it looks like something just didn't pan out to what it was supposed to be. We have the numbers 17, 8, 38, 15, 3, 24, 50, 49, and 44. We also have 6, 5, 13, 4, 8, 6, 11, 2, 8. Okay. We are going to see what the tarot has to say about this. I do feel like you could potentially be pretty young. If you're not young, you just never experienced like dealing with a scammer before, or could even be like a company that really like pulled the wool over your eyes. It's like what they're saying. They really messed you up, basically. So it's like, okay, you learned this lesson, now let's try to move on. Let's try to, they're saying, get reinstated. You might be able to talk to your bank and see if they can do anything to stop payments or like to like fight it. Small claims court, but they're like saying go to your bank and see if there's anything they can do to try to get your money back. You might have already done that. You could have been denied, to be honest. They could be just saying like, oh, well, just don't do it again. You could be fighting with the bank, especially like, so a couple years ago, I went through a job scam. It's reminding me of that. I had purchased a whole bunch of new equipment and for a job, and it seemed legit, you know, and then they contacted me and they're like, no, you're not supposed to purchase it. We're supposed to give you money to purchase the stuff. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Like I already got the stuff. I purchased it myself. And then they sent a check to do it. And so I took it to the bank because they're like, no, don't take it to the bank. Just go ahead and do it on your phone. You know, deposit it into your account that way and then purchase off my website to go ahead and get the stuff because that's the legitimate like stuff you're supposed to get for the job. And whole bunch of like computer equipment and software and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I took it to the bank because something didn't feel right. And then they're like, no, this is a job scam. I'm like, oh, gotcha. Okay. So I was kind of mad that, you know, I bought all of that equipment. I got like a new computer and everything. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, if I didn't do that, I might not be here today, to be honest, with my new business that I'm doing. Because literally everything I bought was basically now being used for my own business. So it could be a blessing in disguise in a way. But I feel like this was more like a lesson that you have to deal with. So keep that in mind. But don't try to like beat yourself up over this because it does happen to the best of us. There's a lot of things that look legit out there, but you know, sometimes just gotta watch out because even though it seems good doesn't mean it's actually real. Yeah. So you had this opportunity of something that sounded really good and you're like, oh, this is going to put me on my throne. Like I'm going to be able to get to work and, you know, get my shit together basically. And then all of a sudden it was like rejected somehow. It's like you're feeling like the universe rejected this opportunity. Now you're going within trying to figure out like what the hell to do. You might be thinking about revisiting an old job from the past. Maybe you quit a job to do this new job. Interesting. You feel like this old job though isn't in alignment with who you are though. Okay, it's not. If you notice how this turned up upside down, I don't always take cards upside down, but my guides will tell me if I need to. This one in particular, they're telling me to do that. It's like yeah, it was a job, but it just wasn't in alignment with me kind of deal. So that's how I feel. You're thinking about revisiting, but you're like, I don't really want to go back to that job. Tell me more. Is this something they should do? Okay. I do feel like... Okay, so some of you might feel like the past job wasn't in alignment with you. I'm getting another storyline that this thing that wasn't in alignment, you're realizing that this job that you thought you were going to get was, and it turns out it was like a disappointment. So you're thinking about going back to an old job. And I do feel like there's potential in this old job. I feel like you could get this job back if you wanted to. They're willing to work with you. I do feel like if you explain like what happened, how it just didn't come together, I think that could actually help you. Just explain what happened. It looks like you're scared. I feel like you're kind of scared of telling them what happened because you're afraid that they won't accept you back. But, because you walked away from them. So you're like, okay, well, they're not going to accept me back because I'm not reliable. I do feel like whatever job you were dealing with in the past, though, you have people there that will understand your situation and what you're going through. I got you. Some of you might not have put in like a 2-week notice. You might have like quit instantly. I am getting very... Please don't take this the wrong way. But I am getting like naive behavior. I'm getting... You didn't think ahead to like how if things didn't go right with this job offer that you could have gotten, how like if it didn't go right, oh well, I should put in a 2-week notice to, you know, make sure I'm being true to my old job. So now you're afraid that like since you kind of hurt them, they could like not give a crap about you. I do feel like you have someone there that is understanding, though, of the situation. So there is a chance that you could potentially get your old job back. I'm getting like 2 or 3 people, actually. So keep that in mind. I do feel like you suddenly quit. It wasn't something that was planned. So yeah, you kind of feel like you're saying screwed the pooch. You really messed up there, and that's probably why you're like kicking yourself in the butt for what has happened, because you didn't think ahead. We have the success card. Times are changing for you. Okay, so what's coming in? A new passionate beginning. This could be a new job in general. Okay, they're talking about the old job. If you go back and you apologize for what you did, there's a good potential that you could get your old job back. You just need to talk to them about it. They understand, especially if you're young. Yeah, see, you gotta talk about it. If you're young, they'll understand it even more. I think some of them might have already known or like had the idea, oh, this sounds like it's too good to be true. But ultimately, like, they were wanting to see you succeed. They were wanting to see you, you know, flourish. But unfortunately, it was a dead end and it didn't work out. So there's that. But I think they kind of knew that could potentially not work out. So I think they are going to understand. And I think they also know that, like, oh, it was a great opportunity. We can see why you were so excited. We understand, kind of deal. Yeah, you're in your head. You're really in your head about this. The thing is that I feel like you kind of don't want to backtrack. Yeah. You're in your head about backtracking. You're just thinking, okay, you know, things have happened and maybe I should just go in a new direction. I feel like I'd be more happier that way. It goes back to, like, yeah, you could get this old job back if you wanted, but at the same time, again, it feels like some of you don't believe that. I have paint on my nail. You don't believe it was like in true alignment with you. You feel like there's better out there, so it's like, I'm willing to, like, you're saying risk it all. I'm willing to see what else is out there to heal my situation. Anything else? What's coming in for them? You gotta make a decision on what you want to do. Go back to the old job or try to find a new job. Okay, so whatever you're going to choose, it looks like it's going to be very beneficial when it comes to money. Tell me more. Yeah, you gotta stay committed. Whatever you choose, you need to stay committed to that job. If you don't, it can look bad on your resume. Makes sense. They're saying be logical about it. Because if you're not, it's going to look bad on your resume that you're like quitting your job, starting a new, if you quit that job too, starting a new, you know, there's no commitment there. So you might lose the opportunity of a really good paying job because they don't trust that you can, like, show up. Yeah, ultimately you're going to get to this happy ending. There is going to be an offer. You're going to have choices. Even if you get blocked, like, say you apply for 7 jobs, okay, and like 4 of the jobs are like, nope, there is going to be a breakthrough eventually. And you're going to be very happy. You're going to be very much in your energy. This is Pisces energy. Same with Scorpio and Cancer. You're going to be able to balance things out. You're going to come back after a time of, like, fighting and grief. Like, you really, right now I feel like you're depressed. You're not in the best of moods because, like, everything that's happened. But this was a lesson for you not to, like, jump into certain things if they seem too good to be true. Also to, like, it's also a lesson on, like, how you communicate with others. It's important to communicate effectively in order for you to, you know, keep good relationships, because otherwise you kind of screw yourself over by burning bridges that you shouldn't be doing, especially at work. You'll be able to manifest this new beginning in this new pentacle. You're just in your head right now. Yeah, you're trying to get out of that energy. You're going to have to put some work into this. You're not just going to be able to, I don't know, make it big overnight kind of deal, okay? I do feel like I'm talking to a younger energy. So just keep in mind, like, the more you show up, the more the universe is going to reward you. The more work you put into something, the more you're going to get rewarded, okay? That's the main message right now. Just don't give up. Keep going. You do have options out there. I do feel like you have some skills. I keep getting, like, a young energy, though. I keep getting, like, I would say no older than 30. Definitely no older than 30. I want to lean more into, like, 20s. Possibly even, like, teenage age range, you know, but yeah. Okay, so we do have Taurus. We have Virgo, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Um, sorry, it's skipping my mind. Yeah, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. And then we also have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have double on the fixed signs. We have Scorpio, Aries, Pisces, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and Taurus. Okay. So this, you could have these in your chart. Obviously you have Pisces in your chart, but like your main four. Maybe look at your Saturn placement too. That could be important. But because that normally involves like your work and stuff. So yeah, but that's what we have for this reading. We're going to dive into the focus messages that you need to focus on for this month. Okay, Spirit. What messages do they need to focus on for the month? Make sure you think of 2 questions. Label them 1 and 2. The order that they pop out is the order they will be answered. Your first answer is yes. Yeah, it's really talking about long term, like stay committed to what you want to do. You need to also go after the thing that you actually want to do. Don't settle. You don't want to do that. There's a reason why you shot your shot with this new job. You felt like it was a wish coming true and stuff. But you need to also focus not just on like making the money, but also on like, do you enjoy the job? That's really important, because you want a job that doesn't feel like a job. You want a job that is actually fun for you. You'll enjoy it more. It's about the value in the job, not just like how much money you're making. Although like the economy nowadays is really bad. But it really does help with stress levels. So if you are young and if you can take any information from this reading today, take that. Okay, go for your dreams. Don't give up. Business contract, yeah, I feel like it was a business contract that went wrong. I do feel like there was like scheming involved. I feel like somebody wasn't being truthful for what they were actually like in this agreement. Miscommunication. Gotcha. There could have been miscommunication with your past job. Either on your end or their end, but there could be like some kind of miscommunication there. We have Aries energy. So with Aries, they are very impulsive. You could have Aries in your chart. You could be a cusp too. I'm an Aries. I know all about that. We are very impulsive, especially when we're young. It takes a minute to like balance that out and to learn control over that trait. It's just a natural trait for Aries, so keep that in mind. That is March and April. We have January, which is Capricorn and Aquarius. September, which is Libra and Virgo. You could be a moon sign Pisces. We have 777. Look, wonderful things are about to happen. So even though it feels like disheartening and heartbreaking and gray right now, the sun's going to shine again. You just got to figure out like where to go from here. We have father. You could be a father. Maybe your father knows somebody that has a job opening, or maybe you're worried about telling your father. Maybe your father tried to warn you about this job. Something about father though. We have Leo. Leo is July and August. 555, change, something new is coming. Sun sign, Pisces. You could be a sun sign Pisces. Capricorn energy, which is January. Capricorns are all about like dedication, hard work. They're also about wanting money. So being workaholics, it's very common with Capricorn. You could have Capricorn in your chart. Maybe you saw an opportunity and you took it too soon. You didn't really think fully into it. Because the deal looked good. You know, that doesn't mean like you're stupid or anything. It just means like the deal looked good and you're like, oh yeah, I want to do that. Maybe they even pressured you and said, hey, you only have like so long to accept this offer before we offer it to someone else. And so that made it where you were impulsive. And yeah. We did have this ground energy over here. This right here is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So there is definitely a possibility you have that in your chart. We have twin flame. You could be on the twin flame journey. You'll know if you are. Your twin flame could have something to do with this job, or a job that's to come. Also leveling up, self-love, like forgiving yourself for things that have happened, rather if you were in the wrong, they were in the wrong, whatever happened. Yeah, it's all about like soul growth and finding the right path for you. It's not always about a partner. To be honest, 9 times out of 10, it's not about a partner. The partner is just an extra bonus. This is about finding yourself and what you truly want in your life and showing yourself that self-love. So especially when things go wrong. So we do have Take That Leap. They want you to take that continue to take risks. Continue to take those leaps forward. Because you definitely should keep going for your dreams. Just because this one didn't work out doesn't mean the next one won't. We do have February. That's Aquarius and Pisces. Again, with Take the Leap though, obviously don't be afraid to take that leap and go forward with what you're going to do. But also make sure you take like any knowledge that you find out from these lessons that do get put into your path. Make sure that you apply those for future events. We do have April, which is Aries and Taurus. We have unfinished business. This could be about that old job. I do feel like there's still an opening for you if you wanted to go back. So it's up to you. December could be important. That is that is Capricorn and Sagittarius. A friend, you could have a friend at work that could still try to help get you back in. We have rising sign, which rising sign, you could be a Pisces rising sign. Third party situation. Yeah, somebody got involved and messed up your situation, and yeah. Now it's time to fix it again. Sorry, the air blew out the candle. I don't know if it'll stay lit. Right now is the time to heal. You're healing your finances and everything and healing the situation. We do have 1212, self-identity, stepping into your power and purpose. That is really high on the twin flame vibe. You're trying to find out who you are. This is a test for you, okay? We do have long term. So being dedicated to whatever you're trying to bring in. We also have school. Earth is a school. All these lessons are school, is part of this whole situation on Earth. You know, since Earth is a school, you have lots of lessons. This is one of your lessons you're learning from it, and how to navigate onto the next opening door. Okay. And then we also have childhood wounds. So childhood wounds could be affecting your money, like impulsive, not having the money when you were younger. Maybe you're like really wanting to make it rich fast kind of deal. And they're saying, okay, it's time to ground yourself. It's time to slow down and, you know, make a plan and work your way up. Because like some people, they get lucky and they get it overnight, but that's not always the case. A lot of the time people are like, that's a very naive way to look at it, because normally when it comes to great fortune, it takes a lot of work to get there. So it's important to remember that. Stay steady. Don't allow your emotions to get the best of you is what I just wanted to say. They're talking about Pisces and how they can get into their emotions easily. They're also bringing up, sorry, my allergies are trying to mess with me. They're bringing up on how Pisces has just ended a karmic cycle. And a lot of them are becoming like quote unquote villains is what people are saying. It's like they're taking their power back, not allowing people to screw them over. You might be really in that kind of energy right now, like mad and frustrated. I do believe that you could use this energy, alchemize it, and actually transform it into making a motivation for yourself so you can move in the right direction. It's kind of like when people get mad, they go to the gym, they work off that frustration. While doing so, they are also working out their body, which makes them look great, you know? So it's like turning that frustration into power, something that is going to be for your greater good in the long run. So they're bringing that up too. So yeah, we're going to use my dowsing rods to get your second answer for your question, for question number 2. So what these are, Spirit uses these as they use their energy to crisscross or pull them apart. When it goes crisscross, that is yes. When it goes apart, it's a no. So focus in on your second question. Pisces second question, Spirit, can you answer Pisces second question, please? Oh, wow. It's a yes. This is a definite yes. That was really fast. If you check out the other videos, like I struggled for a while. But yeah. Okay. So we are going to take a quick break and get into your love reading. This concludes the career portion of this reading. Before we move into the love portion of this reading, I want to share a little about Moonlight Studios. Moonlight Studios is my creative space where spirituality, storytelling, and animal protection come together. From intuitive tarot readings to my children's book Crystal Beast and my handmade crocheted jungle babies and other creations, each piece is created with intention. 15% of proceeds go directly to rainforest conservation and animal sanctuaries. If you feel called to support conscious creations that give back, you can explore everything through the Moonlight Studios website linked below. Now let's move into the love portion of your reading and see what messages Spirit has for you. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, welcome back to your love reading. Okay, so we're going to see what's coming in for you for March 2026. Keep in mind these readings are for my followers and my subscribers. I do connect better to your energy that way. We are going to focus in to see what messages Spirit has for you. If there's a particular love reading, like the vibes, the energy, that you want to focus in for next month, make sure to comment below. Just say you want to hear about your ex, your present, your future, new love, whatever you want to focus in on. I will take those into consideration. Majority will rule, so keep that in mind. And the other thing that's cool too is that I do feel like when you comment that stuff, and we focus in on that energy, your reading has a better chance of actually being included. Like your situation has a better chance of being included to the reading. So keep that in mind. Okay. Spirit. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. That's coming in from my Pisces collective. Make sure to check out your other placements. You could do so by going on Google, typing in birth chart generator. That'll give you information. Normally when it comes to love readings, it's best to check out the Venus sign, but it's always good to check out your main 4, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also, this is a timeless reading, so whenever you find this message is when you're supposed to hear it. Only take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Never try to force anything to fit. Okay. What's coming in? Got the letters F and W. Interesting. Separation, engagement. What has happened? Chemistry. Okay. Honeymoon. Codependency. Okay. Deception. Wow. What in the world is going on? Oh my gosh. Okay. First of all, somebody's very codependent because they have been cheated on in the past and they are trying to keep a hold of you. Or you're trying to do this to them so that they don't lose you. You don't lose them. I'm definitely picking up on that. I do feel like everything was going really good. Lots of chemistry leading to something that was more tangible, something that was more committed. But it does look like there was separation. I don't know if somebody was just like, look, I need a break. Not this week, you know? And I feel like the reason why they needed that separation, that break, is honestly, if I'm being honest, they're feeling smothered. This could be you, this could be them. I do feel like somebody was just feeling a little smothered by clingy energy. Okay. Again, I do feel like whoever is dealing with this codependency issue, I do feel like they were cheated on in the past, or possibly just didn't get the love that they needed when they were a kid. But I definitely feel like a cheating energy more so than the whole parent thing. Could be both, to be honest. Okay. Take it as you will. You know your story better than I do. They could also be hiding this too from you. Maybe you don't know much about like their past and stuff. Maybe they haven't shared this with you. So you're like, why are they so clingy? Why are they up my butt? Kind of deal. I do feel like the fuse is starting to run short. Yeah, it's like fireworks and I don't know, lots of happy, energetic energy, like a spark between you two. But the issue is that it's like ongoing, and it's like all this energy is being put into the situation, and it's like, okay, it's starting to get to be too much. There's going to be a burnout. So yeah, I'm picking up on that heavily. Let's see. Yeah, so I feel like you could still be with this person. But I do feel like there might be like a little bit of a break. Maybe you guys just aren't hanging out this week or something. You're trying to like get your energy back together, or they are. If you are the one that has the codependency issues, which you will know if it's you or your person, you got to learn how to heal that. Because if you don't do that, you can suffocate your person. And like when things are not balanced, it's not good. Okay, like just that's the simple truth. I'm here to tell you the truth. I'm not here to sugarcoat. You have to give a good balance between the two. Otherwise, it turns out to be like too much and clingy and smothering. So yeah. Okay. I do feel like this, like whatever this is, it feels like you guys have enough chemistry to actually keep like things going. Loyalty, yeah. Somebody has a loyalty problem. Somebody thinks that the other person's going to cheat, or is just worried that that's a possibility, that they could be taken from them. Somebody could be jealous of someone else at work, is what I just heard. Somebody could have like a coworker that is really attractive, and your person is kind of like jealous that they are getting to work with you every day. And yeah, I feel like their wounds from whatever happened in the past to them, I feel like they don't really have much self-esteem. Okay, I feel like there's an issue there. I feel like they don't see themselves like how you see them. So they're having difficulties maintaining this, and it's turning into clinginess. They have hope. Okay, so there's still hope for this relationship. Like, things can still work out. It's just complicated, fledgling, yeah. So the situation is complicated because, like, you do love this person, or you like this person. I don't know how far you are in this relationship. It just depends on how far you are on this timeline, if you are on this timeline. But it's like, it's kind of turning complicated because you like this person, but at the same time, the codependency is an issue. You know, you don't want to be choked, you know. We do have the fledgling. This is all about learning. I feel like whoever I'm speaking to still kind of new at relationships, maybe never really experienced a full-blown like commitment kind of deal, lack of. So learning how to cope is what I'm hearing. Learning how to get rid of this codependency issue. They may not even be like noticing this, okay? You might have to actually let them know, like give them the reassurance that they need. Well, we got letting go. Success. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I feel like eventually, like, the codependency factor is going to be let go. I do feel like this is going to be a success for you, for them, whoever's going through this. Whoever's going through this is going to be able to heal these feelings that they have, this internal battle that they're dealing with. Yeah. I just feel like shadow work needs to be done. We do have the numbers 33, 27, 2, 1, 11, 22, 39. We also have 12, 3, 4, 2, 9, 6. Okay. So I do feel like transformation needs to be taking place. I do feel like, again, you or your person are going to get there. It's just going to take a minute. Again, I don't feel like whoever has the codependency issue, I don't think they realize it. So I do feel like whoever the other person is, I do feel like they're loyal. I feel like both parties are loyal. This is like a mutual agreement. A mutual like understanding, a mutual feeling between you two. It's like two different worlds coming together and trying to work things out. You're trying to figure them out, they're trying to figure you out, and how you guys work, that love language. I'm getting that. You're trying to figure it out so you guys are both comfortable and not suffocating the other one. Okay. Can you tell me more, please, Spirit? Oops. Hold on. I want to keep that in there. Okay. We have 5 Pentacles. Yeah, you might not be talking to them right now. They might not be talking to you. The truth hasn't been told yet. Okay, so I don't feel like either the codependency thing hasn't been spoken about, or the truth of how the other partner is feeling, about like feeling the clinginess and needing a break. I feel like this whole situation has not been talked about. And it's making the other person feel unwanted and out in the cold. And I feel like if this was brought to light, like this breakthrough were to happen, this communication were to happen, everything might uncomplicate themselves. Communication is key in relationships. Yeah, you guys need to talk about your feelings. This could be you, honestly. Yeah, I feel like somebody doesn't talk about their feelings, and it feels like you guys need to, because if it's you, if it's your person, whoever, I feel like that's where it's immature energy. If you're wanting a real partnership, you need to be able to communicate effectively with whoever you're with. And that includes your feelings on top of anything else that's going on. You guys need to be put onto the same page. If you guys are able to be intimate and close and vulnerable, that is the relationship, you know. So along with that comes the other uncomfortable things when it comes to like, okay, well, I don't feel wanted, or I feel, you know, jealous that this person is getting more of your time at work, you know, simple things like that. But at the same time, even if they're feeling jealous or unwanted or whatever, they need to be working through those issues themselves too, because it's not up to you for them to heal. Okay, they need to be putting in the work to help heal themselves, because you can't heal them. Okay, like simple as that. They have to heal themselves. But if they don't know that they need to heal themselves on that matter, then if they don't know they're being clingy, yeah, that's an issue. This could also be a cross-watcher reading. Yeah, seeing going within, figuring stuff out. I feel like that's what's going to lead to this wish fulfillment. I feel like that's where like the light is going to shine. I feel like once this person starts doing work on their inner self, rather if this is you or them, about this codependency issue that's not being spoken about, I feel like that's where you're going to see that change. They're saying magnificent change. Like it's going to change the whole dynamic, the whole situation. Somebody's in their head about talking about this. They want you to look at it. These are very two different energies. I'm getting two messages here. They want you to look at it as like, okay, this is just a little hiccup. Okay, what can we do to fix this? You know? And then I'm also getting that somebody's up in their mind about how they feel. The other person is like very passionate and everything. One is afraid of losing the relationship, while the other one is like, oh, this relationship's going great. And with this person who is in anxiety and everything, I feel like that's the codependent person. It could be switched though, not gonna lie. Whoever has this codependency issue, I feel like they're up in their head and they're just not showing it. Yeah, there's a big potential for like something that's very stable. It's a stable opportunity between the both of you if you guys were to work out these problems. It could definitely lead to marriage if you guys want that. Yeah, see success. We have both of these are the success card. 6 of Wands, success. Yeah, definitely lots of success with this person. This could be a soulmate, honestly, of yours. But there's been wounding in the past, so that needs to be worked out, because that's what's making it complicated. If you guys could work out that and get closer with your communication, take the lead, you might need to, considering you are being told about this information, okay? They may not know. They might be the one that's codependent. So you need to be the leader. Someone needs to be the leader, okay? Need to come forward with this information to allow that breakthrough to happen so that you guys can fix the situation. Otherwise, it's going to stay complicated. Yeah, okay, so they're telling me this person cannot read your mind, okay, and vice versa. They can't read your mind, you can't read theirs. Like, you guys need to talk about this. Offer needs to be made. Also, it needs to be spoken about, like, the feelings, like, these are really strong feelings, like, I want to make this offer, I want to go in this direction, I feel like we have a lot of stability, I feel like we could really be something in the future. If you were to be outright and just tell them all this information, this could actually get them out of like being in their head, where they could work on this codependency issue. Be like, look, I have really strong feelings for you, and I want to see this through. You mean a lot to me. You know, depending on where you are in this situation. I love you, whatever. Don't say like whatever, but whatever you need to say, however you feel, needs to be brought onto the table. That way they know what's going on. It might be a big burden at first. You might not be too comfortable sharing your feelings so soon. But like once this is like known, that's when the work can start getting like put into it. They're also saying like this codependency thing, yeah, it could last a while. It's not gonna like just be cured overnight by telling them how you feel and everything. It's going to take a minute for them to work through their shadow stuff. So as long as you really like this person, even love them, like there could be a lot of success with this relationship. But every relationship takes work by both people, normally on different subjects, but you know, this subject just so happens to be like the clinginess, the codependency. Yeah, so as long as you guys are willing to put the work into it, this could be very successful. Yeah, I feel like somebody's waiting. I feel like the female's waiting. There's a female in this situation. I feel like they're waiting to hear what the male has to say. The person who is codependent and stuff, I feel like they're waiting to hear what like you have to say. Like you can get to where both of you guys are matching your energies, both on the same wavelength and everything, but somebody also needs to take control of the situation. Otherwise it's going to be hanging in limbo, and with lack of reassurance, it's going to cause anxiety, someone feeling depressed, left out in the cold. I just feel like there's lack of like communication. There might be a fight because of lack of communication. I feel like you guys can be redirected on the path that you need to go into. This is just going to be a lesson for the past kind of deal. I feel like you guys were brought together to try to learn this lesson. You do have a contract with this person, okay? I do feel like it's a soulmate contract. And just right now you're going through a tough time. So I do feel like somebody's afraid that the other one's going to break up with them. They are really up in their head right now about it. The issue with that, when somebody gets in their head about it, it makes it where it can manifest, because the right proper steps are not being taken to fix the issue. Matter of speaking, like you guys are not communicating, so you can't fix it. So like if you guys are just direct and, you know, take the opportunity to lay it out how it is. You guys obviously have a lot of chemistry, a lot of enjoyment around each other. But like at the same time, I would mention that balance needs to be taking place in this situation. That way you guys don't get burned out on each other. Anything else? Waiting period. Somebody has to take the reins on this situation. Somebody has to take control of this chariot. What direction are we going to go in? Are we going to just stay in limbo, or are we actually going to make a move in the right direction? Are we going to try to work on this, or are we going to let it go? Because information is being hidden. This person does not know. Okay. Tower is going to happen. Somebody's afraid that there's going to be a fight. Once this tower happens, there's going to be change. And starting over new, okay? Like, you're going to get new energy with this person. They can actually try to fix it if you bring it up to them. Okay? If you don't, it's going to stay in the same situation, complicated situation. Yeah, see, it's trying to rebirth. It's trying to be new energy, but like focusing on an old situation. Like redoing this, but doing it correctly this time. Also becoming spiritually aware. This is going to bring a whole new chapter to your love life with this person. Okay, so like things can be changed if you decide to actually like open up and communicate, but if you don't do it, then it's never going to happen. you got to let them know how you feel, and you might be a little in your head like, oh, I don't want to lose them. I don't want them to think I don't love them. Just communicate. If you need to wait until after Mercury retrograde, like the post shadow ends, you can. I don't know how much longer we have for that. I think it's 2 weeks after the actual Mercury retrograde ends. So maybe in April would be a good time. Because I believe it ended around the 20th. So normally it's like 2 weeks post shadow. And then after that, you're good. You're clear. But right now it's like clearing itself out right now. So it's going back direct. So right now would be the perfect time to get on the same page. But okay. So we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could be dealing with any of these signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Obviously you're Pisces. We also have Scorpio, Cancer, Virgo, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, Sag, Pisces, Leo, again, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. We have Pisces again, Cancer, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. And we also have Scorpio, and Aries, and then Aries, Pisces, Aquarius. Your partner, whoever you're dealing with, could be any of these signs. They could just be heavily in the chart, okay? Not necessarily. You'll know if this is your story by how the story went, okay? If you're having like questions on like why they were not communicating, or or how can I fix this clinginess, like here's your reading, okay? So I hope that helped. Let's go ahead and get into your focus messages. Think of 2 questions, label them 1 and 2. The order that they pop out is the order they will be answered. You have unfinished business with this person. You guys might just be on a quick break. Meant to say break, but could be quick, depending on like who wants to take charge and actually come forward with information. Know your worth. So, okay. Yeah. I feel like whoever has the codependency issue is sitting back thinking, I need to know my worth. I'm tired of getting screwed over. This person probably has someone else. I'm just being cheated on again. I feel like that's where their mindset is. So I think there's a third party involved, but there's not. I feel like somebody just needs a break. Maybe somebody's very independent. I'm getting like Taurus energy, ground energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Could be a Virgo. But yeah, I feel like somebody just might like their independence, okay? And it's like, doesn't mean they don't love you, or like you don't love them, like depending on who this is. Could be a cross watcher, but they like to be alone sometimes. It also Aries, like Aries does it too. I know I do it. I call it hermit mode. I like to go into hermit mode and not talk to people sometimes. I need a break, because if I'm around people 24/7, my battery like goes down, I don't have the energy to deal with people. So your person could be like that. You could be like that. Especially since you're a water sign, a lot of emotions and stuff. Maybe you need that break. But yeah, so I hope that helps. We do have 888, balance. Everything is falling into place. I was talking about balance. Everything has to be balanced. Take that leap forward towards this new beginning with your person. Communicate, take charge, December could be important. That's Capricorn and Sagittarius. You do have unfinished business with this person. Capricorn energy again. That's January and December. Grandpa could be important. It does say that you can trust whoever this person is, or they can trust you, depending on who is watching this reading. A sister could be involved. Time to heal. So, you know, something could have happened in the past regarding sister, grandpa, you know. Time to heal those childhood wounds of that codependency and stuff. Know your worth. Again, I feel like your person's kind of in this mindset of, oh man, maybe, you know, I need to know my worth. And if they don't want to contact me, then fine, I'm going to move on. You know what I mean? In reality, they don't realize that you're just taking a break and they're the problem. I don't mean to put it that way, but that's how I heard it. But yeah, it's like, okay, you got to heal yourself. School, this is a learning situation, learning how to heal yourself, learning how to move on, learning how to communicate. Earth is school. Everything that we go through in life is a lesson for us, so keep it in mind. There could have been miscommunication between you two very easily. Yeah, I was picking up on Aries energy. That's March and April. Somebody thinks that there's a third-party situation happening, and there's not. We have Sagittarius energy, which is December and November. 12/12, self-identity, stepping into power and purpose. I feel like getting back on the right track is what I'm getting. You could have your moon sign could be in Pisces. Yeah, see, shadow work needs to be done. July could be important. That is Cancer and Leo. This is a test. Again, this is a lesson, school. You could be Venus sign, Pisces, or theirs could be even Pisces. Ex-lover. So some of you could have broken up. Okay. And maybe someone is thinking, oh, I should go ahead and go back to the situation, but it's complicated. Like, how can we fix it? Maybe it feels like, oh, we can never work things out because we can't get on the same page. Communicate. Okay? Communicate with this person. There could have been miscommunication because we were in Mercury retrograde and you guys could have had a fight that way. Okay? So just keep that in mind. The planets, all that kind of stuff, it plays a role. Okay? Keep it in mind. That's all I gotta say. New love. I feel like ex-lover turning into new love. So what I mean is like transforming this, because we have like revisiting a situation from the past, turning it into new. I feel like getting on the same page and moving in a new direction with the same person is what I was picking up on. Okay, we have 333 support. Your guides are sending you love, support, and guidance. 222 alignment. You are in the right place at the right time. They're also saying when it comes to divine timing, there's a reason for everything. Sometimes you're not supposed to come back together in Mercury retrograde because it could actually make the problem worse because communication is bad. Okay, so maybe you guys needed to wait until the retrograde was over so you guys could actually get on correct communication, so that you guys can move forward. There's a reason for everything. We have travel. You could be traveling. The name John could be important. Okay. They're coming back correct. Okay. So whatever was happening in the past, things could be, they're going to be turning around as long as somebody takes the initiative to change things. I just got like John Silver. Somebody might like that. Like fish or something. I don't know. But their name could be John. Okay. I'm also getting like Pocahontas and John Smith. But yeah. So we didn't get any yes or no's. So we're going to use my dowsing rods. When it crisscrosses, it's a yes. When it goes opposite directions, it's a no. Spirit is the one that moves these. Okay. Okay, Spirit. Can you tell me the answer? What is the answer to Pisces' first question, please? Pisces' first question. So it's more like a maybe, but it's leaning towards no. So it's like undecided though. When I get like this, it's like it's a maybe, but it's a no. It's leaning more towards no. Okay. Okay, so shake that energy. It's undetermined yet. Okay, so Spirit, can you answer the second question for my Pisces collective? What is the answer to the second question, please? Okay, so this is a definite no. Since this one moved slower, this will move faster. It's like, it feels like it's a no, but it could potentially like change over time. But as of right now, it's a no. Okay, so we did get no for both of your questions. Okay. Now we are going to pull from my name deck. For some reason, John got pulled out of my focus deck, which sometimes my cards do get mixed up. So John could be definitely significant. This could be your name, their name, nickname, middle name, last name. This could even be in regards to whoever was like cheated on, like the person who did the cheating. Okay, so it could also be like grandfather, sister. If you would like your name added to this deck, you could do so by becoming a Patreon member. The information is down below. Okay, Spirit, tell me the names for this reading, for the love reading and the career reading, please. I always go twice with this. I just heard Lynette, Bernadette, Benedict, hearing something like that. Okay. Alrighty, Spirit. I heard Leslie, Jose and Leslie. Lindsay. Okay, we have Charles, Leanna, Jose, Amy. Wow, travel could be really important. We have Terry, Cindy, Nathan, heard Hillary, Crystal, Xana, Joseph, Julia. We have Alex, Brent, Adam, Daniel, Hazel, James, Haley, Jason, Mark. I heard Anthony, Elijah, Peyton, Ashley, Brian, Luna, Michael, Aiden, Austin, Noah, Scott. I heard Marie, Angelique, Isabella, Henry, Liam, Serenity, Maria, Julianne, Edward, Ariana, Paige, Arisbe. I heard Elizabeth, Emma. Pisces, this is your energy, very important. We have Sophia, Jay, Jessica, and Destiny. So Pisces, I hope that this helped. I hope that you could take some kind of message from this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below if this resonated. You can leave an emoji if you don't want to share your whole life story. Don't forget to let me know like what energies you want to focus on for next month. I would love to hear. I do take those into account, so keep that in mind. Don't forget to turn on notification bell so you're notified when I post next, and I hope you have a wonderful month ahead and a wonderful day too. Have a wonderful week, and I look forward to reading for you again soon. Bye.